Now I know this isn't exactly close up, however it's as good as I can do with the GoPro trying to record my phone. This is in the app, as in the YouTube app. I've gone into the levers and you can set up what they do. Now the top button, I've set that up for, on the left lever, D-Fly channel 1, and on the right lever I've set that up for D-Fly channel 2, which is easily done, but once you're into the app you just tap that section there, you just tap on it, that'll take you into the next menu, and then you have a choice of what you want to do with it. So that's what I've got set up on that. And of course the GoPro screen has just gone off, so I have absolutely no idea what you can see. So this is what you find when you go into your customize part of the app. So you go into the levers if you're doing this particular section. Next I shall show you what happens on the, once you do those things you hit the button apply and it applies them. Then when you open up the Garmin, and I'll go to that now, I'll change over to the camera. Now I've just disconnected the YouTube app, and as you can see I've got the red flashing light. So I shall turn the bike off and then turn it back on, and that should reset that. And in the next clip, which I hopefully will do off the boat out in the bush somewhere, I will show you the Garmin. Catch ya. So as intended, I've done a short ride, all of about 7 kilometres. And let's do a little refresher before I get into the Garmin. Let's see if I can get this in. Right. So that is button A. And then of course B and C are, he said, B and C are those two there. So as in the last clip, I've set up the D-Fly, and what you'll do is when you go from the app to then turning on your Garmin, what it will do is have a message on the bottom, do you want to configure your D-Fly? If you tick yes, it'll take you straight through to the menu, and then you can do that. However, what we'll do, I'm starting to struggle with some insects already. However, we shall continue, he said. Let's swipe down, let's go into sensors, let's go into that sensor, go to the sensor details, and then you can see there Di2 button setup. So we go to that. It's now showing you that the left road shifter is switch A. We go into that, and that's the setup I've got. So he's blowing away the midges from his face. So single press, that will start and stop the timer on my trip. Press and hold, it will record a lap. Double press, it will show, it'll take me straight through to the map. I only have 3 pages on this, so I really don't need too much of that anyway. But we'll get out of that, he said, and we'll go to right road. So single press will take me to the next page. Press and hold, previous page. Double press turns the backlight on. There are a lot more features. Hang on, how about we do this? We'll go into that. So here, this just shows you all your options that you can actually have there. So that's the setup I've got, and odds on I'm not going to use them too much, because remembering I'm an old man with arthritis, which means using that Oh, he said, trying to get it in focus. Using that at this angle is not ergonomically ideal. However, it can be done. So while we're here, single press. Oh yeah, let's go for it. Look, Ma, no hands. Going back to my childhood. Oh, that's right. I showed you this yesterday, but with a wide angle view, you couldn't actually see it. So for some reason, assist mode and the percentage of power doesn't come up. So I'm not sure about that. I don't particularly need that page. So I've already got all of that information available on the other screens that I use, he said. And I guess sooner or later I'll have a go at taking that page off. I'll see if it works. But not to worry. Go back to that one. That should wrap us up here, I think, folks. Can't think of anything else I need to say as he gets eaten by insects. I've got 32% of my battery, so I'm actually going to do an urban ride once I get back out of here and just run that out and then recharge. Catch ya. Here we are. It's not all bush. I do have houses behind me. However, I do have a breeze which is keeping the insects away. I thought of something else to add that I should have remembered earlier. I have been chasing up info on the new sensor, and really there's not a lot of information out there. Although I did find a single page, I think it was page 60 or 61 within a 69 page manual. I've even watched videos on YouTube that are not in English just to see if I could pick up any information on this. So let's come in here and show you if I can get it in focus or get the lighting right. There we go. So the button, if you press that and hold it for 8 seconds, that will bring up a red flashing light, and then that will also give you access to doing a reset on your crash protection. However, before I tell you the next part, I must remind you, we don't know if it actually works on this bike. That is what it does on other bikes, so that is still an unknown, and I don't particularly want to have to test it. So once you get the red light flashing, you release the button, you get the crank, and you slowly rotate it, and then that will re-engage the motor and the drive in the derailleur. For those not sure, crash protection is for the derailleur. So if it picks up a crash or a sudden impact, it disengages the motor so you don't do extra damage. And I think that's pretty much covered it. Catcher. Thought I better add to our collective knowledge on this. Bike has just dropped over from 25% of e-bike battery left to 24, and when it did, I got an alarm telling me that the steps motor battery was low. So that's an extra alarm coming through the system, because remembering that this will alarm itself at 10% and then it'll change the colour of the box it's in so that you know that your battery's down. So 24%, and in eco I still have a range of approximately 36 kilometres, although that I usually take minimum 5 off that, because the last part of the battery, the 3 and 4% of the battery left, basically you only get a couple hundred metres each on those. So yeah, I thought I'd let you know, and seeing I'm doing a mishmash of clips, I'll just add this to the end. Catch ya. as most of you are aware, I just can't help myself. So once I got that extra alarm when that got to 24% battery, I was wondering what the sensor would do if and when I got down to here. So I've just switched over, I've just ridden it out, so the assist mode has shut itself off. I can't use the motor anymore. We're down to 1% of the battery left, which is 1% of available for the motor. Remembering we have approximately 7, maybe 8% of the battery left for the Di2 gear changes to get you home once you run out of motor. So what happened, I've already recorded this and then it got lost somewhere. What happened, as soon as this got to 1%, the bottom, I got an alarm and it said forced eco, and it gave me a tick to touch. I touched it and then it disappeared and just came back to this screen here, and I have no idea where that video ended up in the camera. But there you go folks, we've added to our knowledge again. Catch ya.